Let's start making this fun project with first preparing tools. Wire of 20 gauge, round nose pliers, the tool with the conic pliers, chain nose pliers, and flush cutter is the tools that we need in this tutorial. But not finished yet, we need chain. I'm using 35 centimeters of a ROLO chain, but you could use any other types of chain that you desire. For mine, the diameter of every loop is about 2 millimeters. For the second part, we need the wire and also the round nose pliers. So pick up 20 gauge wire and make it straight on one side. I'm doing this with chain nose pliers, and you could do so. Just press the weave-in parts, and that's all. We need to leave about 3.5 centimeters at one side. So I put it on a ruler and make a U round with round nose pliers at that point. So wrap it all around till you get something like this, just like a U shape. Okay, here is the most important part, to make some loops at one side of this U shape. So put round nose pliers and make a very little loop by wrapping the wire all around. That is the first loop. And I'm going to put round nose pliers in about 2 millimeters from the first one. And again, wrap the wire all around and make the second loop just attached to the first one. Let's keep going and make the third one. Just pay attention. And about 2 or 3 millimeters, I just wrap a half around. I extract round nose pliers, insert it again, and round it to make a loop. Now we have 3, and we need to make at least 6 or 7 of these loops. At the end, cut it out with a flush cutter, and don't forget to make it closed, just like this, with round nose pliers. Make the straight part all around it and squeeze it well with chain nose pliers. The loops are ready and the main structure as well, but here there is a point. Make a 90-degree bend at the peak of that U shape. You could do that with your hand or with chain nose pliers, just like this, so that these loops would be on a line, and press them to be all straight. And if you look at this structure, at front view they are in a line, and in the side view you could see the loops. It's the time to attach the chains into these loops. First, pick up the chain and also the ruler. We are going to determine the distances that we desire on the chain and then cut them out. You could select long measurements like 7 centimeters or so, or you could do that with 6 or 5 centimeters, just like me, and then cut it out at that point. This is the 5 centimeters long that I had selected, and to cut it out with a wire cutter. And if the chain is steel, it's better to use a strong wire cutter or flush cutter. This is the first strand, and I'm going to cut the second one. So I make the chain all straight, put it beside the first one, and then to cut it out again with flush cutter. I try to mention all the details step by step. If you like this method, just comment it below for me. And this is the second strand. We need 7 of these because we have 7 loops. The last one of mine is a little shorter, but that's all okay. Even you could use different sizes, or just like me, select the same measurements with one of them a little shorter. Now the question is how to attach these two parts together. I mean, how to insert and attach the chains into those loops. Well, as you know, jump rings are the most dominant parts in wire jewelry, and we use them as connectors. So we start making some. Again, pick up 20 gauge wire, make a very little loop with round nose pliers, and the diameter is about 3 millimeters. Then cut it out with flush cutter or wire cutter, and then press it down with chain nose pliers at the point that the start and ending point meet each other to be completely in a line. That is the first jump ring, and I'm going to open it up with chain nose pliers and round nose pliers and insert it into the first loop on my main structure. Then to insert one of those chains into that jump ring too. So I find the first seed of this chain and then close it back. If you need more tips on how to make and use jump rings, go to the video above. Now the first chain is attached, and we continue and repeating this for all of our chains and those loops. And ta-da, that would be the structure we are looking for. But one more tip. Do you remember that 3.5 centimeter that we had left before? Now we are going to make it curve a little, and this is the part that is going to be put onto the ear and those chains behind our ear. Just look at it. This is how we are going to wear this very unique tassel earring. Just insert the curved part and put the chains behind and squeeze it a little. If you liked this tassel earring, just like this tutorial to give me the energy,